Great movie. Shout out to Jason Black, TBA or the Black Authority. Shout out to Black Channel Films. Great masterpiece, documentary called Race War, which I actually saw. I was at the LA premiere last night. Didn't get a chance to really do the video up until now. But I think it's a great movie and a documentary that everyone should go see. The one thing that stood out to me is how Jason interviewed people, black people, that were involved in certain parts of the system, the law enforcement, the judicial system, and even the when it comes to being a party candidate like Ajamu Baraka was, who ran against the Democrats and Republicans. One thing that Ajamu Baraka stood out saying, basically, how the Democrats were just as guilty as being racist as the Republicans were. I'm not going to go into detail. You guys need to check this movie out. The way he breaks it down is amazing. And just, it's a trip. Like, just, yeah, you need to check it out. Another thing that that I noticed, like, Jason not only focused on those that were in the system, but also victims of that system too, of this system, like Yusuf Salam of the Central Park Five. You know, it's amazing how he's talking to black people that have worked within this system and those that have been victim of the system, and they both pretty much have the same answers when it comes to how white supremacy has put black people on a target list. You know, target list for the negative, that is. And just the things that happen and have happened in regards to black people in this society, and how it's been a race war pretty much. You know, I got a chance to meet Brian S. Bentley. Brian S. Bentley was an officer for the LAPD until he wrote a book about the LAPD and the things that they did when they were on their beat, pun intended. And yeah, if you guys get a chance, check out his book one time. I want to read that book. I want to get that book. Because, I mean, I seen things even as a kid growing up in LA that no kid should see, you know, when it came to law enforcement. And it's amazing that Jason got someone that actually worked within that system. And there was another officer, I forget her name. She was in that talking about the same thing, even though she was, I think, in a higher position than him. I think she was a sergeant. You know, and the other thing, of course, you guys know who this brother is right here. You guys know him. He's on TV a lot, Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown was really funny. He was really funny, but I like the fact that he was real. You know, that brother was breaking off some knowledge, you know, talking about working within the system, and just even how, like, his celebrity status was even on TV, and how the media tried to make it look as if he wasn't getting as many ratings as he should have, you know. I'm not going to go into detail about that either. You guys need to see the movie. One thing that I think stood out was what he was saying, how when it comes to black people, black men specifically, how when he was serving as a judge, the recidivism rate was really small compared to when other judges served, you know, because he would actually work with the people that he got out, you know, or you know, basically those that were getting out of jail. He made sure that he was integrating them into society in a way that they wouldn't have to go back. but the recidivism date, I mean, sorry, I keep saying, I don't know why I keep saying that. Recidivism rate what is a lot higher in most cases with black men, because a lot of these people, with this particular pervasive white supremacist system, pretty much use black men as cannon fodder for their, to make money off of black men in slavery in this prison system. Joe Brown, from what I understand, is pretty much an advocate, and he exposed a lot of the things that, was in the system and things that he even went through, you know. But man, you guys got to see this movie. Oh, before I forget, when I first heard that Jason was going to do this movie, and then he comes back sometime later and says, I got some people that is going to be much of a surprise, and people that you never thought that I would get in this film. And right away, I thought Richard Spencer. And sure enough, he had Richard Spencer in there. He had Richard Spencer in there, but also Jared Taylor, or Jarhead Taylor. I call Richard Spencer Bitchard Sphincter. I got nicknames for these white supremacist pigs. But it was interesting to hear their perspective of pretty much a lot of white society and how pervasive this stuff is. Them basically admitting that white people fear losing something that they supposedly establish, which I'd bear to differ on that. The only thing that they establish is their system that runs off of the same racialist pyramid. But Richard Spencer said himself, he doesn't believe in fairness and believes that basically there is white privilege and there should be more, because they feel like they established this place for white people, and they should get more benefits than anyone. And at least, I appreciate that honesty. A lot of people try to hide from that, or lie about it, when he's totally telling you, hey, no, this is what we think. This is how, we think. Yeah, I mean, it's a trip to even think about that. One thing that cracked me up with this movie is how Jason Black challenged Jared Taylor with certain questions that I'm not going to even go into detail, but it's almost like he couldn't even answer those questions. I was laughing. He was like a deer in the headlights on some of the things that he challenged him with. And he tried to basically, he couldn't say anything. Then he kind of like retracted into something else, but that was awesome. I thought it was interesting to have those two in there, because they're pretty much, the benefactors of this white supremacist system, and they want to keep it that way. And it was cool to hear them be honest and not just use a bunch of racial slurs. They weren't your typical mouth frothing racists that you usually see on TV. They didn't have to call you the N-word. They just basically expressed how they felt in regards to what they think that they established and won't want to let go, and their fears of being ousted or being extinct as a people. Yeah, so I want to I want you guys to check that out. Check out this movie. Check it out. Check it out. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.